Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. India may end up with a current account surplus this year, but that's not because our exports are doing very well. It's because imports have gone down. On the export front, it's a matter of worry. India's exports have been consistently falling. They fell consistently for 6 consecutive months. Till in the month of September, India's exports went up by 6%. The government rejoiced. They said that the trend has been reversed. So while in September the exports actually went up by 6%, the trend never continued. In October, reports say that India's exports have come down by 5.4% and they total about $27.58 billion. The government's rejoicing was certainly short lived. It very clearly showed that India's uptick in exports in the month of September was an aberration. It was a flash in the pan. With these kind of figures, for the period April to October 2020, India's exports have actually fallen by 19% as compared with the same period last year. The dip in exports in the month of October was in key value add products like engineering goods, electronics, petroleum, fiber, yarn, made ups, leather goods, leather, and gems and jewelry. These are all value add items in India's export basket. It is they that dipped. A rise was seen in October in exports of low value add items, or rather what we call raw material items like rice, cereals, oil meal, oil seeds, iron ore, etc. Our iron ore exports went up, steel did not go up. Authorities say that the dip in exports in the month of October has been because of return of COVID in key importing nations in the EU. On the other hand, exporters say that the dip in exports has been because of issues like non-availability of containers on time, because of delays and uncertainties and receipt of export incentives from the government, because of increase in sea freight and those kind of factors. The worrisome issue according to us is not the return of COVID in the EU nations, but the dip in the high value add items in our export basket. The value add items have gone down and raw material items have gone up in our export baskets, and that is the matter of worry. If we really want to compete with China and become a global manufacturing hub for exports, then we need to mass produce low cost items. We need to produce low cost items but high quality items in order to compete in global markets, and that is what is missing from India. Forget China. India is not even able to compete with nations like Bangladesh and Vietnam in the export scenario, such that while our exports have gone down during this period, in the case of Bangladesh and Vietnam, for example, they have remained robust and buoyant, they have not dipped. The real problem that we see is huge gaps in the entire ecosystem and infrastructure for exports in India, and the fact that because of this, Indian exporters, Indian manufacturers are not able to become part of global supply chains in order to ramp up exports in a large way. The government has certainly been seized of this issue, and various incentives and reforms keep getting initiated in order to ramp up India's export base. But the flagship scheme, the flagship initiative of the government in order to ramp up India's exports has been the PLI scheme, the Production Linked Incentive Scheme of the Government of India. Under the PLI scheme, the government has been willing to compensate manufacturers who produce goods in India primarily for exports, and this compensation comes as a percentage of the production cost. The production cost gets reimbursed to the tune of 4 to 6% of the production cost to those who manufacture and export out of India, and that is to compensate those companies because of India's high production costs as compared to that of China and Vietnam. The PLI scheme started with manufacture and export of mobile phones out of India. It was fairly successful. It has managed to attract major vendors, manufacturers, for example, of Apple phones. Apple's major vendors and manufacturers like Foxconn of Taiwan, Pegatron, Winstron, etc. have all announced that they have taken advantage of the PLI scheme and are setting up manufacturing bases in India. Even Samsung has signed up, so have local manufacturers like Micromax and Lava. Because of this PLI scheme for mobile phones and because manufacturers have signed up, in the coming 5 years, India's manufactured output in the mobile phone domain is expected to go up by 10.5 lakh crores, of which 60% will be exported. Experts say that the exports can be even higher. Apart from exports going up because of this scheme, it will certainly provide a lot of employment to the locals. And the most important, like we saw in the case of manufacture and export of cars out of India, the manufacture of cars and exports has set up a massive base in India of auto component manufacturing. This scheme for mobile phones could do something similar for manufacture and export of mobile phones in India. It will ensure that production base and ecosystem is set up such that India does become a competitive nation for the manufacture and exports of mobile phones. With the success of the PLI scheme for manufacture of mobile phones, the government is now contemplating such a scheme for pharma products, electronic items, food processing items, etc. The PLI will succeed. The reason it will succeed is it's a direct financial incentive being given to manufacturers in order to compensate for the higher manufacturing costs in India as compared to countries like China and Vietnam, for example. But then, let us remember, financial incentives come with a sunset clause. And once they are over and the country's ecosystem is not geared up, then those manufacturers tend to reduce their focus from India and shift out of India. And that is what can happen also in the case of PLI. After all, it's a financial incentive scheme with a sunset clause. What we need to do is to actually plug gaps and deficits in our overall system, in our overall infrastructure, so that while the PLI scheme gives a kickstart to India's export manufacturing, in the long run, it should become attractive to manufacturers to continue manufacturing in India. India actually has a huge opportunity to become an alternate to China and become a global manufacturing hub. After all, we have land, we have labor, we have skilled manpower, and most important, we also have a domestic market in order to attract manufacturers to India. The opportunity has come up primarily because of the trade skirmishes that have taken place between USA and China and now are also taking place between USA and the EU. Many multinational companies are now following a China Plus policy, which is manufacturing in China, but also have another manufacturing base outside China in order to ensure that these trade wars and skirmishes do not impact or disrupt their global supply chains. The very fact that we are witnessing a belligerent and aggressive China, which is rupturing its relationships, its diplomatic relationships with many other countries, has also spurred MNCs to pursue their China Plus policy in the matter of setting up manufacturing bases as an alternate to their Chinese manufacturing bases. But then, if India wants to take advantage of the China Plus policy of multinational companies, we will need to get our act together. A number of authorities and agencies believe that India can be the next global manufacturing powerhouse, but it needs to improve itself. It needs to get its house in order. A World Bank report confirms this. The World Bank thinks that India can be the next manufacturing powerhouse of the world, but for that it says we need to improve our business climate. The World Bank says we also need to improve the capability of our managers and workers, and we need to link domestic manufacturing firms into the global supply chain. This is what the World Bank suggests. A McKinsey report says that if India initiates 3 policy initiatives, then that can add billions of dollars to India's manufacturing output and exports. And what are they? McKinsey says we must raise our productivity. We must make our system, our manpower, our technology more productive. For that, it says that India will need to secure know-how and technology from other nations or ramp up its own research. And it finally says that Indian entities need better access to capital. In the opinion of McKinsey, if we do these, if we implement these 3 initiatives, it will help us to ramp up, increase our manufacturing, and grow our exports, grow our domestic market, and also build enough import substitutes which will finally help India's trade surplus in the long run. That was a McKinsey report. Yet another private study says that India can boost its exports and become a global manufacturing hub if it implements certain measures. And what are they? It says that we need to improve our ease of doing business considerably. We need to ensure that contracts can be enforced on time. We are able to give government approvals and licenses on time, and that the government ensures that there are enough land reforms taking place such that land acquisition is fast, easy, and safe. The second is, of course, India needs to reduce its compliance and compliance cost. There are too many in tax laws, business laws, and corporate laws. MNCs and exporters who want to relocate to India are looking for a reduction in India's compliance burden. We also need to remove the legal and tax uncertainty that prevails in India, which again discourages companies from setting up base in India for their manufacturing output. The study further says that we have huge gaps in our social and physical infrastructure. It includes roads, it includes highways, ports, it includes hospitals, schools, etc. We need to plug those gaps and ensure that we get a boost to exports in the process. India also has a lot of logistics bottlenecks. From the place of production to the port of export, the time that is taken to transport the goods is a nightmare for most of the exporters. That needs to be simplified, that needs to be reduced, and that needs to be such that trucks which are held up on the way are not held up by all those corrupt officials. Logistics needs to be considerably improved in case we need to become an export-oriented country. We may have a huge population, but we still face shortage of skilled manpower. India needs to improve that. And most importantly, we need a bureaucracy which is benign and less corrupt. It is a massive hindrance to India's export competitiveness. That needs to be looked into. Thus, the private study also concludes that India has it all in order to be a global manufacturing powerhouse. We have the land, the labor, we have the resources, we have the market. What we don't have is good systems. What we don't have is good administration and governance. We think that this is a great opportunity that has come from India. India can be the alternate to China and various other countries. We also need to be the alternate because after all, it is manufacturing which provides jobs to the youth on a large basis. Our unemployment rate has been going up. Millions of youth have been coming into the job market year after year, and they have been either unemployed or underemployed. It is manufacturing which will give them their job opportunities, and therefore, apart from it being an opportunity, it is also a need for India to get its act together. We need to build an entire ecosystem. We need to remove all the gaps on our infrastructure. We need to boost our export capability on a long-term basis, and that will help India. And we need to avoid gloating just because 1 month the exports may have gone up, which was the month of September. In October, we seem to be back to square one. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.
If you like this video, please share it, and we would love to hear your comments in the comments section down here. Also, please do like our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter to get minute-to-minute news updates. For more such shows and videos, well, subscribe to our YouTube channel.